sunset, downtown Los Angeles. Bright lights, nightlife, extravagant, feeling irie like Kyrie. I can handle it. My squad aids and all the bands I make, no bandages.
Welcome back. Finally, Christopher has come back to YouTube. Christopher Bearden's TTQs, theories, thoughts, and questions. Hajime no Ippo, the fighting spirit, round 12, becoming buddies with a bully, or becoming a bully's buddy. So, the last episode, round 11, Ippo won his debut match against Yusuke Oda. He prevailed. So this is the next day. And we are at the fishing boat rental, his family business, and he's getting stuff ready for the boat. Up early, running with energy, happy, up, geeked. And his mom is like, yo, you should get some sleep. And he's like, no, I feel better when I get some work in. You know, when I get my stuff in, I feel better. And so she's like, wow, something's different in him. He's excited. He's elated. Also, just a quick pause. Watch the art. Go watch the art. Watch it. It's cool to watch me. I'm cool with you watching me, getting some nuggets that I'm getting from my perspective, my limited, you know what I'm saying, perspective, my not boundless, it's boundary perspective, bordered. But watch the art. Watch the art. See it for yourself. I think it's great. And specifically with this particular show or anime, Hajime no Ippo, you know, it'll give you some juice to stay in the fight throughout the day. And that's for anybody just living. So back to it. And Ippo's mom is so excited for him, happy that he's happy. And we cut to in the morning. He's running to school. And he passes who we don't know at the time. There are two young ladies who go to a different school. You can tell by their uniforms. And also the fact that he's running in one direction, going to school, and they're walking in the other. And one of those girls is Kumi, I'm assuming, who will be coming in the future. We'll figure out who she is and what relation she'll have to Ippo. And this friendship, Kumi's walking with another girl, and they're talking about how they did homework together last night and how it was fun. And sorry, I hope I didn't stay too late. And no, let's do it again. So I'm guessing their relationship or their friendship is starting. But anyways, Ippo's running past them and he sees Kumi, and Ippo thinks to himself, oh, what a wonderful gift that I get to see her. You know, his nose is open again. Every time he sees Kumi, his nostrils do that. I'm sprung. How'd you get me? Kumi got me doing things I never do. If you ain't there, I'm telling you, I sprung. That's straight up Ippo. Every time Kumi's in the vicinity, it's like the acne smell that you can see, and it goes in the nostrils. And so anyways, Ippo is experiencing all that and is saying to himself, I wonder if that's like a gift I've been given for winning my for winning my match. And then he's like, oh yeah, I won. He's really letting it sink in. He drops his school books and just starts squaring up, and he remembers, oh yeah, I forgot I was in Southpaw when I beat Oda. He goes to Southpaw and he starts envisioning him throwing them right jabs, those consecutive right jabs that took Oda out and made him the winner. And he remembers what Mamoru Takamura said about his first time winning and how the applause felt like rain falling on him. And that's when he knew he was doing what he's supposed to be doing, and that he was going to be doing this for his life. Ippo saying to himself he had the same experience. So that's wonderful. And then also he remembers how Takamura pulled his pants down in front of all those women at Sugar Ray's and exposed his the elephant sound. And he's like, I'd rather forget that memory though. So anyways, we go to Showen High School, and Ippo's getting ready to walk in the classroom, and he's imagining, you know, it's tough. You know, you did something great. You thinking it's going to impress people. You have your vision and fantasy of how people are going to react. So he's going through that before he walks into class. He goes into class and people see the bandages on his face. And they're asking him questions, and he's letting them know, and basically they know he won his debut match. He's a professional boxer. What's he going to do about college? All the students are asking him questions, and they're so inquisitive, right? Oh, wow, he's so different. And Ippo's thinking, oh, I'm going to be busy all day. I'm going to be so popular. This is exciting. And sure enough, we cut to him at the cafeteria at lunch, and he's by himself. Everybody's having conversations with their friends. No one's really interested in what he's doing. And it's a little sad, because I was never necessarily in that position, but to be young and to want friends and to want attention, and he worked hard for it, maybe a little notoriety. He earned it, and but he understands himself. I didn't become a boxer to become popular, so stay the course. Let's keep going. Stoicism. So anyways, we go to the rooftop where he's eating by himself. And who shows up? Umezawa and his two homies. And basically, he's up there to ask Ippo when his next fight is. Who's he fighting? We heard you won your debut boxing match. And Ippo's like, yeah. He didn't say all that in the beginning, but I just said that's what the whole thing is, him being on the roof. And so he's trying to put up a front like he still don't like him. You still need to be threatened by violence. But when you fighting, you win your match? Okay. And Ippo's putting it together, and he's like, what, you like boxing? And I was like, yeah, we like boxing. Delinquents like us, we idolize boxers. And Ippo's like, you idolize me? And then Umezawa was like, no, you worm, you know what I'm saying? And his homies are trying to hold Umezawa back, like, Umezawa, remember what we talked about? So Umezawa is basically messing up. He's supposed to be over here trying to be cool with Ippo, and he's over here still bullying him. So they ask him when his fight is and who is he fighting. And Ippo goes, I don't know, but I'll be fighting in a month at Korakuen Hall. And they go, okay, they try to pretend like they don't care. All right, whatever. I guess, who cares? And so that's a little silly thing, but clearly they're interested. And then we see a shot of Umezawa's two homies chasing him down the stairs like, we were supposed to be friends with him. You were supposed to apologize for all the things we've done to him. What's up, man? We missed our chance to be friends with a boxer, which is hilarious. How the tables have turned. It's funny how just believing in yourself and taking steps to do that can have ripple effects through your life that don't just radically change you, but radically change everybody around you. This is dope. It's dope to see that. Now, we're at Kamigawa Boxing Gym. And Yagi-san is standing by the entrance. Fuji-san walks in. What up, player? Mr. Yagi's like, how you doing? And Takamura comes out of nowhere. Mamoru Takamura comes out of nowhere. And he's like, Fuji-san, you to write about your boy? And Fuji hits him with the Ginobili footwork. He hits him with the Ronaldinho footwork. And gets around Takamura and asks Yagi where's Chief and Ippo. And he tells them, oh, they're downstairs working. So Fuji goes downstairs, and Takamura's like, Fuji, you must have some great footwork to have gotten past me so quick. I didn't even really see you. And then he ends up getting on Yagi's case about letting Fuji go around him. But the interesting part about that scene, or that little thing, was Takamura commenting on Fuji's footwork. And maybe this was already obvious to y'all as viewers, but for me, it wasn't obvious that Fuji is probably a former boxer. Now, maybe not professional. Maybe he's a former amateur boxer. Maybe he did go professional for a little bit. They don't really give the history on if he hasn't or hasn't, but he knows a lot about boxing. And I'm thinking, oh, it's not just because he's around it all the time or learning it or studied it, but it's like, oh, he did it. He probably did it. So sick that his footwork is that dope, and that little thing just kind of opened that up for me that, oh, Fuji, he doesn't just talk the talk. He was walking the walk. And just because he walks in with the 5 o'clock shadow and the open unbuttoned shirt and the tie, he looks a little, he looks like Keanu Reeves and John Constantine, or in Constantine, he's a little devil may care, doesn't do what the boss tells him. It's like, no, he had it in him. Maybe that's his reaction from having to be so disciplined in those ways when he was a boxer. But anyways, super dope. So Fuji goes downstairs and he sees Ippo biting his thumbs of his gloves while he's hitting mitts, while he's like, I guess doing defensive drills or maybe hitting mitts with, not hitting mitts. He can't because he's biting the thumbs of his gloves with Chief. And Fuji brings up, oh, he must be, and Kimura steps over. I'm so sorry, Miyata. Kimura steps over. And I'm sorry, Kimura. Because those are two different brothers. So Kimura stands next to Fuji, and they basically talk about how Ippo's working on his peekaboo stance, his peekaboo defense, to strengthen his guard, because his guard was pretty lax in this debut match. That's what Fuji says. And so Kimura and Fuji just basically going back and forth about how he's doing the peekaboo, which is an English expression because it comes from a boxing trainer, Cus D'Amato, who trained Mike Tyson. And that was the strategy, to have your gloves up. And so you're like peeking over your gloves. And this is your defense. And so you move along, keep your defense with you. It's tight. Clearly it creates for a stronger defense, a more sturdier defense, especially than Ippo had. And one thing I also love about this is Fuji gives props to Chief Kamigawa. He's a genius, man. Everybody in here talks about the magic he has and how he knows how to, you know what I mean? It's like, it's not just about going in just one direction as fast and hard as possible as you can and just hope everything breaks around you. He makes it a science, Kamigawa. He gets into his head, you know, without making it seem like he's playing mind games. You know, he's manipulating you, but not abusing it. And so I say all that to say, Fuji basically says, what a genius idea for Chief Kamigawa to give Ippo a counterattack, a defensive strategy. He's already building Ippo's boxing repertoire, his boxing game, you know, making him a sturdier, stronger fighter. And just his next fight, so sick. I love how people keep giving props to Chief Kamigawa. So basically we get to after they're done and Fuji hands Chief a tape because Chief wanted Fuji to come through to give Ippo Miyata's last match for reference, to get him hyped up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, this is who you're going to fight in the Japan rookie tournament final. And Fuji, when he says bye, he mentions that, right? Just to make sure the audience knows, not only do you have your second match coming up, but also you'll have the Japan rookie tournament. So congratulations. Keep going, Chief. Keep it up. You know what I'm saying? Fuji dips. Then they go, this is cuts to Ippo being at home, and he's watching the tapes, and he sees Miyata, and Miyata bing, 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 hits him, knocks out his opponent. That's his third KO. So Ippo's excited, you know, he's like, yeah, good, you know, he's at home, like, yes, good job, Miyata. And Miyata finds the camera, you know, he's walking in the camera is on him, and he finds the camera, and he's like, and Ippo's like, it's like, yeah, the challenge, dude, yes, you're all happy, but to lock in, you have to meet him at the finals. Meet me at the finals, oh yeah, meet me at the finals. Miyata gonna take a KO. Miyata gonna take a KO. So anyways, Ippo gets even more invigorated, more driven, more drive. So they show him at the gym the next day, and he's doing his peekaboo, and Chief comes in and he's like, hey kid, we found out who you're gonna fight. It's Yoshio Fujiwara of the Maeda gym. He has 2 fights, 1 win, 1 loss. The win was by decision. And Takamura basically comments how that means is he's not impressive. And coach is like, don't look at the record and use that as a barometer of how much respect you should have for your opponent. You never know what happens until you fight. But with that, as a boxing novice, someone who is super new, super green, they made me think, wow, so people really take your wins and losses and how you won, definitely, and measure your threat level with that. So it's interesting. Like if he would have won by KO, It makes sense, because if you have a weapon that can KO, you'd want to use it. And if you don't use it, then you probably don't have it. And so obviously KOs KO those type of weapons. So if someone has it and they're using it, that's something to be worried about. Like Yusuke Oda. Yusuke Oda had 3 KOs. And so you had to watch out for his power. Takamura comments about how it's not that impressive. And as we get on to the match that we're going to get to, we're going to talk about the match. But it just made me think, oh, so that's a clue. You know, you're being a detective. You go, okay, so his one win wasn't KO. It was by decision. So maybe he doesn't have that knockout power. But that's not how coach is thinking. I just thought that was dope. Like a little detail that maybe some fighters use in terms of, was it reconnaissance, you know, getting information about your opponent. So Ippo's so invigorated. Yes. Coach tells him, don't let up. This can be good. We need momentum going into the rookie tournament. So Ippo's hitting the bag and he's going, and everybody's watching him, and he's hitting it with that Takamura Mamoru energy, boy. He's going in. So then we cut to in front of Kodakyuin Hall with Umezawa and his clan, his 2 homies. And they talking trash, looking at the marquee like, man, Ippo really finna fight? All right, man, whatever. So clearly it's been a month. And they're like, man, let's go watch him lose. So they get their little snacks, little drinks. They go in. They talking smack to each other. Like, man, Ippo probably going to lose in like 10 seconds. He ain't going to do nothing. You know he ain't got no hands. Remember when you smacked him across his... Man, remember when you talked about his mama and he ain't do nothing? And he looked like he was going to do something? And you dared him and he ain't do nothing? And then you smacked him? I mean, you know what I'm saying? They talking smack. Yeah, man, we know how Ippo is. Ippo's weak. He's weak. So it's the fight before their fight. So I guess they're the second match of the night, which I think is different from his first fight. I think he was the first match of the night. It's not significant. I just like details like that. It's pretty interesting. So maybe more people at this fight. So maybe he'll get more of a following depending on how this fight goes. Wink, wink, how it goes. So Umezawa and his clan, his 2 homies. They never say his 2 homies' names, so that's why I keep saying Umezawa and his clan. Or Umezawa and the 2, Tweedledee and Tweedledum. They see Ippo come out, and they're like, oh, snap, that's really Ippo. Dang, bro, I guess he wasn't lying. So he walks in, and then they see his opponent. And it's funny, because for the first time you see Umezawa and his Tweedledee and Tweedledum, you see them make the face. You see them make any other face that's not intimidating, right? Every time we see them, they're intimidating. They're badasses. So they're always like, you know what I mean? But now it's like, they're like, because they're looking at the Ippo's opponent. They're like, look at the guy. He has like no eyebrows. So this whole joint seems like it's just magnified, supersized. He got the big forehead. And of course, he's muscular too. I think he has like maybe a little bit bigger. He looks bigger than Ippo. Definitely looks older. And it's funny, Ippo even mentions, man, this guy doesn't even have eyebrows. And coach is like, well, you don't box with your face. So yeah, he might have the look, but he needs to have the hands. So fight starts. My man throws a couple punches to get Ippo to dodge. And when Ippo dodges, he says, perfect, I'm going to go ahead and break his guard down. Because word on the street is Ippo has the weak guard. You know what I'm saying? Pow! He tried to hit him with a counter punch. Ippo, he was looking like the wall in Game of Thrones. He was like, shh, you ain't getting through nothing. This, I mean, I was going to say it's stopping the White Walkers. I guess it didn't technically stop the White Walkers, did it? But it's stopping a lot of other stuff. It's stopping wildlings sometimes. So what is it stop? No, I don't know. I'm joking. That's a little... Ippo had his guard up. He had the wall up. My man couldn't break his guard. So he's like, oh, snap. I guess his guard is firm. And then Ippo comes through and cracks him with his guard up. And he breaks through Yoshio's guard. And Yoshio's like, what? Did he just kick me with his hand? What was that? This dude hits like a rock. Oh, like a rock. He's cracking him. So Yoshio feeling the pressure. gets positions himself so he's blocking the ref from being able to see what happens and headbutts Ippo. And Ippo doesn't even realize what's going on. And Fuji comes in, Fujiwara comes in, whap, whap, cracks him and knocks him to the floor. Now it's a 4-round match. In 4-round boxing matches, you only get 2 knockdowns. You know what I mean? And you lose. So that counts as a knockdown. And everybody saw that it was a headbutt except the ref. But of course, he didn't care if everybody else saw. The only person that mattered was if the ref didn't see. So of course, everybody got something to say about it. And it's funny because Umezawa and his 2 homies are rooting for Ippo. They're shocked that he's dominating. But then when they see Yoshio cheat, they're like pissed off. They actually have words for Yoshio. You feel me? So Ippo recovers. He's like, I'm good. Let's go. Let's do it. So he goes back in, and they both get to trading blows. Pow, 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 pow. Then they hit each other at the same time, and Yoshio is stunned. And it's clear. I mean, we already knew the power was different, but you can see how even the power difference creates such an advantage because you both can be throwing the same amount of hits. Maybe even Ippo throwing less, which he wasn't. He was throwing a lot more. But when you have more power, it does a lot more devastation, and maybe you need less punches. So I say that to say, they hit each other in the face at the same time. Yoshio gets rocked, and Ippo is back on the attack in fighting, hitting them with consecutive body blows so he can get him to lower that guard, so he can chin check, chin check, chin 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 check, chin 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 check. And he goes to headbutt again. He's like, man, this guy's onslaught is unstoppable. It's inevitable. It is unrelenting. And so he goes to headbutt him again and cracks Ippo in his head. But the ref saw this one. So the ref warns him, I'm going to take points away if you do that again. Watch it. And the guy's like, well, I did it by accident. His peekaboo, his guard is so low, he has his head forward. And so Ippo's like, oh, my bad. I wasn't even trying to. So Ippo's thinking like, man, I'm just doing the peekaboo. Is my head really that low to where it's... But then he sees Yoshio, and Yoshio gives him that smirk. And Ippo's like, oh, he did it on purpose. So Ippo didn't have it. Ippo's like, forget all that. I'm going to hit the body so then I can go to the uppercut. I'm going to go straight to the uppercut. They go, bing. They let him go back in. Ippo goes uppercut. My man tries to block. Ippo, boom, obliterates his guard. Ippo steps through with the right foot, hits him with the right uppercut. So first left uppercut, broke Yoshio's guard, stepped through right uppercut, knocked him. What else can I say? KO! Lit his butt up and laid him out. Ding, 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 ding! Ippo, the winner! Ippo got his second win, 2 KOs. And this one was in round 1. 2 minutes, 50 seconds into the first round. Ippo, yes! And of course, Umezawa, hype. His 2 homies, hype, shocked. Ippo! They were counting down. When they were counting down for Yoshio getting knocked out, they were counting down with the rest of the crowd, hype. So post-fight, Chief and Mr. Yagi have a nice little laugh at Ippo because he has the wild unicorn knot in his head from Yoshio headbutting him all them times. Ippo looked like he has the wild bright idea in the middle of his forehead. So they're laughing. Umezawa's getting ready to leave, and they look back and see Ippo in his corner, and his coach is laughing. And they're talking, and basically they're arguing they end up trying to compete about who knew about Ippo first, and then it gets awkward because then he realizes, no, I was the one who saw him first. But I saw him first because I was the one to pick on him to bully him. And so it's kind of like a little bit of moment of reflection, like, yeah, damn, dude, like, we didn't know this guy. It's not a total 180 of character, right? He doesn't take back his bullying, but he does acknowledge and is aware that he judged this dude and treated him a certain way because he judged him, and he sees that he wasn't right. He was totally wrong. This guy wasn't who he thought he was. He is way more than who he thought he was, and maybe he even is himself. Boom. So we go to school the next day, Shio High School. Again, Ippo was eating lunch in the cafeteria by himself. And this is the day after his second KO. But again, he didn't do it to make friends. And maybe it hurt a little bit more the first time, which is why he went to the roof to eat lunch, because it was a bit of a sting of like, but this second time he knew people weren't going to really care. So he knew it was expected. I can eat my lunch in the cafeteria. I don't have to go to the roof. Just a detail I noticed. So Umezawa goes to get him after lunch. Ippo's at his locker in the hallway, and Umezawa goes to get him and basically says, "Follow me." Walks him around the corner of the school. Ippo don't know what's going on. Ippo's like, "Dang, is he about to try to beat my butt with him?" So then Umezawa shows up in front of a whole bunch of delinquents, self-scribed, self-named. He called him and his homies delinquents. So it's like a group gang of them, a whole bunch of them with the school uniform. So I'm guessing there's students there too. They're not just like homies he brought out from the outside into school. I know I'm acting like they're too bad to go to school. He's clearly at school. But anyways, a whole bunch of group of delinquents. He shows them to Ippo and basically says, "Yo!" And Ippo's trying to run away, and he has to give him the wild cartoon, Looney Tune yank back. And it's like, "Yo, this is Ippo. He's a professional boxer, and he's my homie, and this is the guy I was telling you about." And Ippo's like, and I love that they don't shy away from this, because it is awkward, right? It's not pure happiness that someone's excited for you. He's like, "This dude's a bully. He whooped my butt." So they showed like the gray, the complexities of Ippo in his head going, "I don't know how I feel about this. This guy like traumatized me. He hurt me. He whooped my butt, knocked me out, insulted me and my mom. Wasn't even thinking about apologizing. Now he sees that I'm a boxer and he wants to be friends." But Ippo stays in the moment. He doesn't let his negative thoughts or negative emotions of it's not really negative. It happened to him and he wasn't thinking about retaliating. But he decides to let Umezawa have his little time. So he goes, "Okay, at least I'm happy someone's this excited," which again is the joke of life. Because he had a fantasy about all these people. He wouldn't mind being excited. Even Kumi being excited for him winning the matches when he daydreamed before going in class that first time. But the joke of life, the one person who changed on a dime isn't even embarrassed for the way he's choosing to pretend like all that negative stuff didn't happen, because he admires Ippo so much. And so Umezawa says, "Yo," he won his second match, and he tells him what happened. And Ippo's like, "You went to my match?" And Umezawa's like, "Yeah, man, we're friends." And he's like, "Dang, he saw my match." Think about it. Nobody ate lunch with him, and Umezawa and his two homies paid to go see Ippo fight. So I think that kind of means a lot to Ippo too. So he tells him about the fight. He even counts down. His whole crew is going crazy. And that's how it ends. That's how the episode ends. Becoming a bully's buddy. So we'll see what flowers or blossoms from that situation. I'm sure this isn't the last time we'll see Umezawa. It's not like this is graduation day. And Ippo has a lot more fights. The Japan rookie tournament's next. So that was end of round 12. A silly episode, a sneaky, introspective episode. They don't try to get too into it, but there's definitely, layers of when you make mistakes, when you have regrets, when you choose to turn yourself around from being the bully to being a friend. We're seeing Ippo go from being a victim to taking his power, which can be, invigorating, but it can be very humbling and embarrassing and also tough to navigate, making that transition from being the inflictor of violence, the predator, in a negative way, but I mean in terms of like a bully, or just anybody who's seeking to take advantage of someone, because they have the power to. You know, those people turning a new leaf, that's a tough story to tell in the stomach sometimes. But I'm glad they're kind of starting that with Umezawa going from, I mean, he knocked Ippo out, and who knows if that was the first time. Him and his homies, not Ippo blacked out. Imagine if Takamura hadn't come. So interesting. But yes, so now it's going to be round 13. His eyes are set on the Japan rookie tournament, where he has a challenge with Miyata to meet him in the finals. And that journey starts next. So, any life lessons, any takeaways from this episode? I think one is one I just mentioned about, and it's easy to label people bullies and predators, but we all have different sides to them, or we all have different sides to us, and he has different sides to him, Umezawa, and it's about, you know, your discipline and can you, when those different sides are tempted to come out, can you take the energy from them and direct them into the good? Don't let them direct what you do, but just take the energy from whether it's negative or whether it doesn't feel good or whether, you know, and you take that energy you get from that and don't imbibe it for revenge, but imbibe it into something positive, which is what I like what Ippo did. He could have got upset. But, you know, let's take this and put it into something positive. Let's take these lemons and make lemonade. And so we'll see how Umezawa and his two homies progress moving forward. But yeah, just on taking that step, you know, I'm going to make a change and no one's going to feel sorry for me because I was the one doing the hurting and I was the one doing the, you know, whatever it is. But to understand that there are people out there that have yet to make that change, are choosing to make that change, are in the process of making that change, have made that change, and are continuing to live that lifestyle of positivity, of metamorphosis from what they used to do or be or believe or what they let drive them throughout their day, their ambitions, their motives. But yeah, just, I never have thoughts from that perspective, which I'm sure a lot of us don't. A lot of us don't feel like we're the ones that inflict any pain or violence or hurt anybody, even though we all do, whether we realize it's indirectly or directly. But I guess intent, probably most of us don't intend to wake up in the morning and hurt somebody's feelings. A lot of us just kind of want to do our purpose, find our purpose, do our purpose, you know, and a lot of things distract us and catch us off guard. And so that all put together with, you know, dreams and all that stuff will guide you throughout your day, depending on which one you prioritize with more. But just having different perspectives. And I'm sure watching this show, I feel like I'm in with Ippo, right? A lot of us that watch the show and that are motivated and driven by the show feel like we're in the Ippo's perspective side of things. But it's like, wow, what if I did try to see it from Umezawa's? You know, yeah, it's tough to have sympathy for the devil, but it's like, and that's like a saying, but have sympathy for the evil person or the bad person or the negative person or the violent person, but it's like, they're people too. And you always want them to be brave enough to take the step to change. And so I'm glad I see Umezawa doing that. If that is in fact what this is, because again, it was silly, so it kind of took the edge off it. Because, I mean, I'm sure it's geared towards younger kids. But yeah, taking that different perspective, understanding that it's not hard only to find the strength within yourself, but it's also tough to take that journey of humbling yourself, of understanding and knowing that even though you don't feel like you're a bad person, that there are people that, and this is probably me talking to me now, that there are people that I'm sure you've hurt, that I'm sure I've hurt. And maybe it was in moments of violence, or violence, not really violence. I said that. Moments of anger. There you go. Where maybe you said something, or maybe you acted a certain way that you knew was going to push that button or hurt that person in a certain way. But yeah, so I definitely have those moments. And so that's where I can share perspective and share some sympathy with, like, yeah, I'm sure I've hurt people. And I'm definitely have had weak moments in my life where I've hurt people, whether they're close to me, whether not physically, but maybe with my words, maybe with my behavior. And those are things I have to own up to. You can't take them back. And so that's where I find my sympathy with Umezawa, which is tough to do because I don't like admitting that. That's wild, me admitting that out loud in front of y'all, but it's the truth. And maybe it isn't that wild. Maybe it's something we all should practice. And just being able to be out loud honest. But anyways, that's what I glean from this episode. That's what I extract. That's what I excavate. I think that's a strong lesson for me to learn in terms of taking different perspectives. I'd love to think that, which is funny, the victim mentality, right? We'd all rather be the victim than the bully, a lot of us, because we often feel like the victim, but we often never feel like the bully. But the joke of life is I'm probably just as much the bully as I am the victim without realizing it. It's just more acceptable. Or people just don't see it as negative. Or maybe it's just not that big of a deal. So nice. I got work to do, which is dope. To feel uncomfortable, to know, yeah, you thought you were good, but just go ahead and pry a little bit more because you can be better. And so taking this perspective from Umezawa. And it's not supposed to make me feel good. It's not supposed to make us feel good. Oh, yay, we're learning about some other perspective that we have no sympathy for because of what they did to other people. And yep. But I'm trying to go, my purpose in life is to go towards uncomfortable and to test myself. And so in doing this, that's and thinking about that, that's what I'm doing. You got to go to those levels. I'm a human. I can't judge anybody no matter how much I want to or I feel like I'm in a position to. Because I'm capable of the ups of the ups and I'm capable of the downs of the downs. I'm capable of Luke Skywalker and I'm capable of Anakin. So life lessons from the show. Round 12, becoming a bully's buddy. Silly, but also, on the low. It's got layers, you know what I'm saying? Got deep layers. Tune in for round 13, where we start our journey to the Japan Rookie Tournament. Woo! Was it Saturday? Saturday. Stay in the fight. Keep pushing. It's the weekend. And it's always good to get a little reprieve, a little relief, so that way we can dig back into the week and go ham. But also with that, why not test yourself a little bit? If you're going to watch TV, why not put your phone down and just finish the whole episode without being distracted? If you're going to watch a movie, why not put the whatever you got in your hand down, whatever you're doing, just sit and watch the movie. Maybe whatever you watch, you take at least 5 minutes to recollect and think, did I actually understand what I was watching? Can I take away something from what I saw? Can I share this with somebody? If not, then why'd you watch it? Did you just want to check it out? That's cool too. But just so we're not just going through life zombified. We doing stuff to just get a little bit better. Even though it's fun, even though it's comfortable, can we just make it a little, I don't want to say less fun or less comfortable. Can we just raise the challenge level in a little bit? You know what I'm saying? All right, yep, you're going to chill all day. You already made that decision. That's cool. Just get up and walk for like 10 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Do some push-ups. You feel me? Keep fighting is what I'm saying. Comfortable, chill. But also, guess what? All of us can get punched in the mouth on the weekend, on the beach, on vacation, with a Mai Tai, and we have ribs. And we can still get punched in the mouth. That's how life works. So what you gonna do then? You gonna just cry and be upset because you on vacation and you wasn't supposed to get punched in your mouth? No, we can all get punched in the mouth at any time. So let's stay in the fight some way, even if it's the tiny little bit. All right, y'all. Yeah! Fight. Woo, got me hyped up, boy.
I can't swim when it comes to bodies of water. I'm Finn from Adventure Time, but I'm fine. Fake it with a grin. A coolie cat by the pool unless you try to push me in.